What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ben. Welcome back to BH Aquatics. Well, it's Fun Friday, guys, so we're going to be taking a look at all of my fish, but this time, instead of looking at like an overview of them, we're going to be trying to get deep into the specifics. Obviously, without like, this isn't going to be like care guide specific, but towards the end, we're going to be looking at each of my 3 different variations of guppies that I have in my fish room. So if you're interested in those, skip to the end. We got some awesome clips of those. Up close, up front pictures, you guys can see exactly what they look like. They look absolutely stunning. And all my other fish, from my BioCube to my 55-gallon with my 2 monster fish, it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, let's get to Fun Friday. So in my opinion, this is actually my favorite tank that I have in my fish room. It right now houses, I think, 15 to 20 fish. I can't count them all, to be honest with you, because there's just a lot in there. I've counted before, and I'm just not ready to do math right now. So basically, in this tank, I have 1 fantail goldfish from my mom's classroom. With that, 7 rosy barbs that also came from my mom's classroom fish tank, 2 of which are males and 5 of which are females. Then I have 5 albino red top zebra cichlids. They look phenomenal. Added on to the 3 Parkinsoni rainbows. All 3 of them are adult males. That's how I bought them. They also look just as phenomenal as cichlids. They have vibrant blues and oranges, just as Parkinson's rainbows should have when they're adults. And altogether, this tank just looks awesome. So I know this one's going to drive a bunch of people crazy just because there's a red and blue LED grow light over this 55-gallon tank. Makes it very difficult to see. More on that in Sunday's video, but we're going to do our best to try and see my Giardini arowana. I'm pretty sure it's a pearl just because it's got some beautiful red diamond-shaped scales on it that make this fish look awesome. Here he comes right up to the front to greet us. He's about 1 foot long, and he's a pretty thick fish. He's right now in a 55-gallon tank. He definitely should be in one bigger, but if you guys have been keeping up with my channel, you would have known that the 150-gallon that he was supposed to go into has a mighty big leak, and we're right now trying to figure out how we can fix it before, of course, we put this fish in. In this tank, we also have a firemouth cichlid. He's very hard to see back there, especially with the red and blue glow light, but he hides behind the big piece of wood. There's a little bit of glare. I'm not really sure why, because I don't have any lights on in the basement, but yeah, you would definitely see the colors a lot better if we had a different light on this tank. But the firemouth looks absolutely gorgeous. He's about 6 inches long, and he's about 3 to 4 inches thick, so he's a pretty big fish. There's never really any fighting between the arowana or that firemouth, so that's pretty cool. So I'm actually really excited to show you guys these ones. These are actually my guppies. I'm putting them in these glass cups just because legitimately, like 5 minutes before I shot this video, I broke my viewing container, my plastic viewing container that goes on the side of aquariums. I was really bummed out about it, so I had to get this glass cup to show you. So, of course, it's going to show the guppy when I show you guys a side portfolio or a side view of it. It's going to show it a little bit differently than it would if I were showing it to you on, like, the side of a fish tank. But as I was saying, the reason I'm excited for this is because if you guys watched my 2020 fish room tour, I actually got a couple of comments saying how some people would have liked the video better if they were able to actually see the fish in the tanks because the water was so cloudy. So I'm doing it this way so that you guys can see the fish better. Just, you gotta give me a little bit of maneuvering room, because obviously with a glass bow front here, it's gonna show the fish a little bit different from the side than it normally would. This here is a like a mixed color, half black pastel. I personally, I'd call it a half black pastel, like AOC type guppy, because it has a mixture of greens and blues, but it also does have a beautiful like pastel tail and pastel dorsal fin, which make this guy really awesome. This is a male half black pastel. It's a juvenile, so it does look a little bit smaller than typically the adult males would. But overall, I think he actually looks pretty good in this glass container. So this here is actually a very old male from my yellow line of guppies that I breed. He, obviously since he's getting old, his fins, or his tail's getting a little tattered in the back there. He looks like he would be a juvenile just because his tail's not as huge as the show guppies typical show breeders would have. But this is in fact an adult, and since he is getting old, you can tell that some of the color's fading in his tail, added on to some tattering at the tips. So overall though, he looks pretty gorgeous. He has a nice yellow like caudal, and the dorsal fins is pretty solid yellow with a little bit of pastel in there. But the juveniles that I actually have from this male and a female that I was breeding a while back that actually died, the juveniles from them look absolutely phenomenal, and when they get a little bit bigger, I'll be sure to showcase some of those to you guys. Potentially in a future fish room tour that I do for 2020, because I do want to kind of redeem myself from the poor quality of the 2020 fish room tour that I had earlier this year. So this here is actually a juvenile multicolored guppy female. I was going to show you the full-grown female just because the full-grown male that I was originally breeding with the full-grown female died, so I only have the full-grown female remaining, but it looks like the full-grown female is right now having... I don't know if laying its fry is the proper term, but it's definitely having some fry right now. So I decided I just pulled this female juvenile out. So Ben, why didn't you pull out juvenile male if the juvenile female's color's already coming into its tail? Well, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised because the juvenile males that I have don't have nearly as much color growing in yet. So these females are definitely growing a little bit faster for some reason. But overall, it's a pretty healthy tank. And this juvenile female actually looks really gorgeous. It has some nice yellows. You can see a little bit of blue in there, a little bit of red, and obviously some black. But that tail will become more developed in the future once this fish becomes bigger, and this fish will just look spectacular at full size. Overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Fun Friday video as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope you guys that are here watching that maybe didn't like the 2020 Fish Room Tour appreciated this one a little bit better. Even though this is not the official 2020 Fish Room Tour update video that I'm going to do in the future, I had a lot of fun actually looking at the fish more specifically for each fish that I had, especially with the guppies and the glass cup that I have. Obviously, I know the arowana, which is in the tank right behind you guys, and the firemouth, you weren't really able to see it because the lighting wasn't too good. But, you know, things like that we have to deal with temporarily. We'll get to that on Sunday. But overall, this tank's looking great, and all my fish, I think, are looking absolutely fantastic. So yeah, today, Fun Friday might be my new favorite video day. So if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, I will see you guys on Sunday. Peace.